calls to the sexual assault hotline here in Jacksonville have gone up drastically.
And tonight we're taking a look at the reason behind the rise in the help available for survivors. Katie Jeffries has more.
When JSO and all of the other law enforcement agencies report upwards of almost 500 survivors last year, well, we served 700. So there's at least 200 right there who didn't report, but who still came into services with us. And that's not including those who never report even to us.
So that was Robin Graber. He is the Rape Recovery Team Program Director at the Women's Center of Jacksonville. He says last year the center got 3,000 calls to its rape crisis hotline. That is the most they have ever gotten, 3,000. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so we want to take a moment to show survivors that help is out there, and it all begins with a phone call.
A picture is worth 1,000 words for Tiffany Saraka. Her artwork hangs on the walls of the Women's Center of Jacksonville. But when it came to talking about what she had been through, words were hard to find.
Exactly, because I was so used to pushing everything down.
She says it got to a point where a friend encouraged her to call the hotline. She was nervous, but then the counselor helped calm those nerves.
Like the first session, I practically just cried. There was no words, it was just crying, because it was nice to, have somebody listen to you.
When a survivor calls the hotline, they don't have to give a name, and they can even come in and have forensic evidence collected by the Women's Center while they decide if they want to make a report. From October to December of last year, Graber says the center saw a 30% increase in calls. He thinks part of that is from more news and social media coverage of sexual assault cases.
There was the Stanford case, and that survivor even sent her victim impact statement, and it was posted on BuzzFeed and shared, millions of times. So that's really letting survivors see, I'm not alone, there's someone else out there, so let me call and find out.
Those types of cases also help dispel the idea that rape only comes from a stranger that attacks. Because in reality, the majority of perpetrators are people the victims already knew.
But we really try to remind them that it's the perpetrator who chose to do this act. There's no one thing that causes sexual assault except a perpetrator.
As for Tiffany, she says talking to someone about it helped her let go of the anger, and it changed her life.
I feel more outgoing, I can approach people, talk about anything. I don't feel like I'm carrying this burden around with me, so it's just nice to be me.
So the number for the Rape Crisis Hotline is on your screen, and it is a 24/7 line. So there's always someone there who can talk to you. Here are some important notes. You can remain anonymous if you call. It's also open to women, men, and transgender survivors. It's also open to friends or family members of survivors looking for advice. If you want to make a report, but if you're afraid of going to the sheriff's office, you can go to the Women's Center. The officers there will come to you, and a counselor will help you get through it.